Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will discuss the way of creating array from scratch. In case of large array, it is much more efficient to create arrays from scratch using routines built into NumPy. Today, we will discuss some of them. So, let's start by importing NumPy as np. The first function that we are going to discuss is numpi.zeros, which is used to create an array containing all the values as 0. If we will look at the documentation of this function, we will see that it takes basically three parameters. First, the shape that defines the shape of the array, second, the data type, and third, the order. So let's create a one-dimensional array of size 10. So it returns an array of size 10 containing all the values as 0. The next function that we are going to discuss is numpi.ones, which is used to create an array that contains all the element as 1. If we look at the documentation of this function, it is similar to that of the zeros. So we will create the two-dimensional array of size 2, 3. So it returns a matrix containing all the values as 1. The next function that we are going to discuss is numpi.full, which is used to create an array with certain specific value. If we will look at the documentation of this function, it takes one additional parameters as compared to numpy.zeros or numpy.ones fill value, which takes the value of which we are going to create an array. So let's create an array of size 5 containing the value 3.14. So it returns an array containing all the values as 3.14. The next function that we are going to discuss is numPy.arange, which is similar to the Python range function. If we will look at the documentation of this function, it takes parameter as start, stop, and step. In all these functions, we can additionally define the data type of the array. So the first parameter it takes as the starting point, and the next parameter it takes as the stop point, and the next parameter is the steps. Like if I am giving 2 steps, then so it will return an array at the interval of 2. If the same 2 is replaced with 4, so it will return an array with interval 4. So next function that we are going to discuss is numpy.eye, which is used to create an identity matrix. So since we know in identity matrix number of rows is equals to number of column, so if we are providing a size 3, so it will return a matrix or the identity matrix of the size 3, 3 comma 3. So it will return an identity matrix of 3 cross 3. The next function that we are going to discuss is numPy.linspace, which is used to create an array of given number of values evenly spaced between start and stop. So if we will look at the documentation of this function, so we will find that it is having the parameter as a start, stop, and number. The by default number is 50. So if we are defining from so if we are starting our value from 0 and stopping our value at 10, so it will return 50 values from 0 to 10 of equal interval. So if we are defining the third parameter, or if we want only 5 values, so it will return 5 values from 0 to 10 evenly spaced between them. The last function that we are going to discuss is numPy.empty. It is used to create an uninitialized array of given size. It contains the value that is present in the memory allocated to this array. So if we are defining an empty array of size 10, So it contains the value 0. So this value is present in the memory that has been allocated to this array. If we will define an empty array of size greater than 10, so it gives the garbage value. In this case, the memory which has been allocated to this array contains these value. So this is all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we will discuss some random function that is used to create random arrays. Thank you.